Okay, guys. This is recording. So morning, whatever we discuss about download and all, I don't record anything. Okay. Here I am recording. Okay, because this is important topic now. So this is a OSL layers. Now, whenever network keys came, like connecting PC to PC or PC to switch or connect communication is started. So first of all, they made one question. So what is that question? So how to communicate? Connection is okay, but how to communicate, right? What are the things required to communicate from one device to another device? What are the requirements? Yesterday we discussed that one. What are the requirements to communicate from one PC to another PC? One device to another device? We need a NIC, cable, media, or maybe a device and protocols and logical addressing. So how to put it all this in one proper arrangement, right? So how to check these are there or not? Okay. Next, different organizations start following different type of different organizations start following different type of methods to communicate. Different organizations wise. Okay. So Apple Talk. So it's came with a different names like Apple Talk. One of the thing TCP/IP. Actually, there is no TCP/IP earlier. It is DoD model, and DoD model further it is into the public. DoD is used in defense research purpose only and defense places only. And later it is came to the research lab and research places, and then it is publicly released as a TCP/IP model. Okay, IPX, SPX. So these are the different models are released into the market and depends upon the organizations they are using like IBM mainframes, Novel Netware. Okay, so Novel Netware. Okay, like this different type of organizations comes with a different way of solutions to communicate from one system to another system. But public wise and standardized version is TCP IP model only. We are using communication is TCP IP communication only. Now, later, after all these things, OSI layer came into market. What is this OSI layer? OSI is not, we are not using OSI layer. Important, understand guys, we are not using OSI layer. And who will use OSI layer? No one. No one is using OSI layer. Even I went to some networking classes like a CCNA type of classes. I don't know who told to that person, and they told to me, and I also believe in that one. Later, I find it is nothing. Okay, it is nonsense. Like people said, like a very big companies or a very important research companies, research organizations only use OSA layer. But in reality, OSA layers, OSA model, we don't use it. What is OSA actually? Open System Interconnect. Open System Interconnect. It is nothing but a reference model. It is a reference model. It's a 7 layer model, also named as a 7 layer model. Okay, it is a reference model. It is reference means, you know, we buy a textbooks from market, right? You go to the book market and you buy a textbook for a particular subject like digital electronics. Digital electronics textbook. But digital electronics also has a reference books also available, right? Different books are available. We don't buy a reference books. We go to library and we refer it. We go through it once. If you have any one of you ever went to a library, then we'll see. What to for a book purpose, not for girlfriend purpose or boyfriend purpose. That's a different point. Okay, okay. So books purposes, if you go to library, you can see the reference books like a Shraddha and Smith or Tannenbaum or so many books are available. Ball State. So a lot of people who write in a books on a different subjects, and that is most of them is a reference book. Textbook means it contains a concrete subject based on your syllabus subject. Reference is about a particular point, so they are we want to research it. We'll go for a reference model. Now that is enough story. Okay. What is OSI? Open System Interconnect. It is a reference model and 7 layer. What is the use of this OSI? OSI model will give you a guide. Okay? It is give you a guide to create or troubleshoot, create, maintain, and network. So if you want to create a new network, so what are the components are there? For example, I want to put a systems like already we discussed this one, right? I want to create a network. Like I need a switch or a hub. I need a NIC. I need a NIC. I need a cables. I need a protocols. I need a communication. The way of communication. For example, this is a server and this is the client. So what should be there in a client to access the service? What should be there in a server side? What application should be run in a server side or service in the server side to give the service, to access the service? What should be there in a client side? Okay, and level of encryption, compression. Okay, how to send in a packet wise, how to address it, how to address it. Okay, and how to make a connection, how to receive it, and how to receive, and how to reply. So everything will be defined in a OSI layers only. So we can understand when we create a network, we can do it, and we can maintain it whether it is working good. Okay, so we can management. So what layer, what responsibilities of the network part means complete whole network. Next one is a troubleshooting. If you got any issues, we can use this OSI layer model to troubleshoot the network also. Okay. So lot of people think OSI layer, from OSI layer, remaining layers, remaining models are came. All these models came from, all these models came from OSI layer only. Actually, if you check the dates, all these models are their year of release is previously OSI layer release only. So OSI layer is the latest one, but OSI layer will give you understand of all the other layers. Like if you are using TCP/IP, IPX, SPX, Novel Network, AppleTag, or any model you are using, OSI layer is used to understand the existing models. Okay, OSI layer will give you reference model. It is to give you understand existing one, more detail existing one. Second, if you want to create a new network or you want to create a troubleshoot a network, so this is very useful in that form. Okay, mainly for troubleshooting wise, it is important here. Next one is, it is a standard by OS ISO. What is ISO? International, international. Anyone?
Standard organization.
Organization. Done some spelling mistake. Organization of standardization. You have to search like 1 second. ISO. It's the International Organization for Standardization. Okay, International Organization for Standardization. It is not standard organization. It is Organization for Standardization. So this is a common thing in a we have. Okay, I will put it here. Organization for Standardization. So what is this? It will give you standard. Okay, this is a standard model. That's it. What is ISO will do? Either it is standard or not standard. Okay, that's a thing. I am recording this one. Recording this. Very good. Sometimes you have to remind me. Sometimes I will forget also. Okay. ISO, International Organization for Standardization, and this model and given lot of references and information in a IEEE. Okay, IEEE has also given a standard information about it, making journals. Okay, and request for comment RFCs. Okay, this also provide RFCs, request for comments. In a, there is a numbers are there. Each and every request for comment, there is a number is there. So any model changes, questions about model like that. Okay. So IEEE given a journal number is 802. Okay. So in this one, it is mentioned what is the network, follow the rules and regulations of voice layer and network related things. Okay. So 802 is a journal number. Anybody remember IEEE? Hmm?
It's a standardization for networks like wireless IEEE 802.11.
Full form. Institute of Electrical Electronics and Engineering. So this is engineers. These full forms are not required, but last time you seen in the interview questions, they may ask anything. Okay. Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer. So as you said, like guys, as you said, it will give you a standardizations organization and research journals. Okay, information about the particular thing. Okay, okay. So it will make more public appearance of any project. Okay. RFC's request for comment and it is given a 802. What is this? IEEE 802 is a journal number and that is number means 1980 Feb. That time it is just happened. Okay. There is a certain standards are there. For example, if you see anytime 802.3, it means it's Ethernet. Ethernet. Okay. 802.3 means Ethernet. 802.11 means Wi-Fi, wireless. Wi-Fi means Wi-Fi Ethernet or a Wi-Fi NIC or anything like a Wi-Fi wireless. I put a very simple Wi-Fi. You will understand, right? Wi-Fi related things. Any Wi-Fi related go through the standards like this. Of course, there is a different things are there like A, B, N, G, like that. So different standards are there. So not only this one, there are like different standards also available for extra. So for speed, so which defines what is the bandwidth and speed kind of stuff. Different things are there. But 11 means Wi-Fi. 11A, 11B, 11C, like that it will be there. Okay, you can go to any wireless router or a mobile phone or a laptop. If you have any wireless Wi-Fi related thing is there, so check it that standard number. Okay, flexibility number or any though you can find this number there, guaranteed. Okay. uh, Here it is. This is a part. Any other things? Yeah, that's enough. Okay, reference model it is. Now we'll go to the OSM layers. What are the layers in a OSI? 7 layers are there. Okay, OSI 7 layers are there. So when you are reading, okay, generally we use 7 to 1, not 1 to 7 layers. 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 7 layers. The top layer is a seventh layer, and bottom layer is a first layer. The first 3 layers we call as a software layers. First 3 layers we call it as a software layers, and last 3 layers we call it as a hardware layers. Fourth layer is a transport layer, which is called heart of OSI layer. I think you already seen the what are the layers are there, but I am typing here. First layer is application layer. If you anybody want to prompt it parallelly, no problem. You can try application layer. What is the next one?
Presentation layer.
Very good. Presentation layer. Fifth one.
Session layer.
Yes, very good. Session layer. Next. Transport layer. Next one.
Network layer.
Very good. Network layer.
Data layer. Data link layer.
Data link layer. Very good.
And then physical.
No, in a school days, when teacher ask a question and school children, usually like LKG, UKG, no, children are try to shout like, I know answer kind of stuff. What is A for apple like that, right? Uh, that's why we remember a lot of things because of we are keep on speaking when you are learning that time. Okay, but when you grown up, colleges slowly there are start suppressing your idea of speaking out, or at least for a prompting in a background. So what happened? We stop doing it. So we our mind is diverted into other things. We forget what we learn. Okay, so now we have to implement that kind of system in a grown up classes. So we don't require, but we should require now, because when you prompt it parallelly, when you say parallelly, what happened? It will give you more recollection, more in your brain. Okay, not just we sit in a class and leave for today. Is not there. Okay, so these are the 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. So randomly I will choose 1 or 2 people here, and please guys, you have to tell that things. Okay, so who is the first person? Will go first person first. Ajit Gupta, tell me 7 layers. Ajit, yeah, tell me 7 layers. Why say 7 layers? Unmuted, but voice is not coming. Okay, we'll go to next one. Ajinkya,
Yes, sir.
tell me 7 layers.
Uh, First one is application layer.
Hmm.
Second is presentation. Uh, Third one is session layer. Fourth one is transport. And yeah, then
Yeah, you can see on a
network data
screen.
and yes, sir. What?
It is an on screen only. You can read it from here. No problem.
Yes, sir, I'm reading.
Uh,
Actually, I noted it down first.
okay.
First one is application layer, then presentation, then session layer. Fourth one is transport layer, and then network, data link layer, and the last one is physical layer.
Very good. I think Ajit got some mic problem. That's why you open the mic, but still we can hear. Very good. So we'll go to the last one. Yash. Ash, tell me 7 layers. Just 7 layers, not required numbers. Just 7 layers. Application, presentation, session. That is also okay.
Application,
Hmm.
presentation, session, transport, network, data link, physical.
Very good. Then we'll go to one more person. Sai Charan. Sai Charan, just tell me 7 layers.
Hello? Sir,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah, audible, audible. Tell me. Start.
Yes, sir.
7.
Application, presentation, se- session, transport, network, data link, and final physical, sir.
Physical. Very good. Okay. Just for a sample only, so 30 people complete is very difficult. Okay. Very good. Okay. So like that, guys. Even if I ask or don't ask, but just you have to do with along with others also. So then what happened along with me and others, it will repeated. So then you will remember more time, longer period of time. At least you will remember. Okay. Okay, so each layer has a different responsibilities here. So what first one is application layer. So what is a application layer is responsibility is application responsibility. Responsibility is application responsibility. Application at client side and server side also. Okay. So application at client and server. Just for example, web server. Okay, so web server application in Microsoft is IIS. Okay, Apache. Okay, for example, Apache HTTP D or HTTP Apache HTTP or Apache Tomcat. Okay, so like that NGX and like that, so many web servers are there. Now client side. So you can see that like just for example, I told this is an example. Client side, Chrome browser. Chrome browser is one of the browser, right? It is a client side application. Firefox is one of the application like that. FTP servers, like different type of FTP servers are there. VS FTP server, VS FTP server. Different servers are there. Browsers like Qt FTP. Okay, CyberDuck. Last time we deleted that one, CyberDuck kind of stuff. Qt FTP, FileZilla. Okay, FileZilla. These are all client side part. Okay, um, mail server like a Exchange, Exchange. So many are there. Why Zimbra, like that. So many mail servers are there. Mail clients like Outlook. Okay, Outlook is a one of the mail client, like Lotus Note is a one of the right. So like this, so we have a servers and a client, and both side applications are there. Each applications are dealing with protocols only. Each applications is dealing with protocols only. So as a such protocol, okay, we'll go. Okay, each application is actually depends upon different protocols operation purpose only. For example, web browser support HTTP protocol. The basic protocol is HTTP. Of course, sometimes FTP also supported, but the main thing is HTTP protocol. FTP applications support FTP protocols. Mail servers support SMTP, POP3, IMAP protocol. Outlook Express will support Outlook application is support mail client related, like for sending SMTP, receiving POP3, IMAP protocols. Okay, like that. So RDP, remote desktop, RDP, SSH, Telnet, okay, NTP, NTP for authentication, Kerberos, LDAP authentication system. A lot of protocols are available. Okay, so HTTP, FTP. Okay, so many type of protocols we are using to communicate in the real-time network. Okay, so including like MySQL also has a protocol, right? 33 some 86 or something is not 86. That is I really forget. 1520, that is a one of the port number. Oracle TSN port number. So like different port numbers are there, protocols are there available. Okay, different way of communication to client to server communication thing, like Oracle database is a server. What is a client side? You can use SQL plus. You can use a SQL plus SQL developer. Different clients are where the Oracle database is a server which provided database, right? To connect it, we need a clients, and we need a protocols to communicate from client to server, right? So all these things will be managed by application layer only. Okay, so application, based on application of a server and client, so we are using a protocol. So who will manage this protocol? What is this protocols comes under comes under your application layer only. Of course, these protocols managed at transport layer, but protocol first, when you communicate, we need a protocol to communicate. So we have to tell, I need a web page, I need a download, I need a remote connection, I need a authentication, I need a time synchronization, I need a configuration file. So then it is first communication, right, from my side, right? So that is, we call it as a protocol. I'm giving you a common protocols which is we are used commonly in a network side, or like this. Okay, so commonly used protocols, I will give you at least 10-15 protocols. Please remember and try it. Okay, http, https, telnet, ssh, telnet, ftp, ssh, telnet. I will tell you how to remember also. Telnet, SMTP, POP3, IMAP version 4. Okay, so how to check the previous one. Okay, DHCP, DNS, TFTP, Trivial File Transfer Protocol, TFTP, NTP, SNMP protocol, RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, Simple Network Management Protocol, Network Time Protocol. Okay, like this. Okay, Kerberos, Kerberos, LDAP, okay, LDAP, NNTP is also there. NNTP, so many other things also there. Just NNTP is not much big deal. Okay. So if I remember anything, I will add up also meanwhile. So each time protocol and every protocol has a port numbers also. Okay. So each protocol has a port number. Each protocol has a port number. So that port number also you should remember. HTTP 80, 443, FTP 20, 21. Guys, I will ask these things whenever I want to ask. So you must remember. Try today only. Try now only. It is. Okay. Sometimes certain protocols having a two port numbers also. Okay. If you have a doubt, then you can verify also. I don't mind about verification. You must verify these two things compulsory. Three things, because that is usually regularly we don't use it. 3389 88, and this is 389. So I have a doubt on TFTP port number. You can type TFTP full form or port number, anything you can go for. Trivial file transfer protocol, and what is the use of trivial protocol also you can try used for. So port number is 69, and use is to simple lockstep file transfer, which is allow client to get file from or put file onto remote host. uh, yeah, so for a booting purpose, configurations, remote booting purposes, we use TFTP. FTP for a file transfer purpose. Like that, you can copy everything and put it what it is and what is their port number. Okay. NTP port 123. Okay. SNMP port. Okay, so 161 and 162. Why two? 161 for SNMP managers communicating with SNMP agents. Okay, that is polling when agents send unsolicited, like server side 161, client side 162. DHCP is also like that. Two ports are there, no DHCP. So DHCP port numbers 67, 68. So DHCP server. DHCP messages from client to server are sent to DHCP server. So port number 67, client to server, server to client, server to client, server to client. It is a 68. Okay, like that. Each protocol meant for something, like DHCP for a IP configuration related one, DNS name to IP related one, TFTP for a remote booting or a configuration related one. Okay, so HTTP and HTTPS for a web page related. S means over SSL, it means secure. HTTP is a plain text format. HTTPS is a secure format, encrypted format. Data encryption is there in HTTPS. Telnet, remote connection purpose. SSH, remote connection with encryption. It encrypt the data, it won't encrypt the data. Okay. SMTP 25 port number, POP3. SMTP mail communication. If you want to send a mail, SMTP. You want to receive a mail, POP3 or IMAP. DHCP. So for your system got IP address from your router, right? So your router is a DHCP server. You got IP from your DHCP server only directly. DNS, when you type something on a network, right? So you are typing something. For example, I type a W3 schools. So what is that meaning? So I try to open that web page. So HTTP protocol, but I have to use IP address to communicate. Who will give IP address? DNS server. So what is the protocol? Is a DNS is a protocol. 53 is a port number. NTP. So if you can see the in my corner, you can see the time. The time and date is there, right? This will be sync with Microsoft time server. Okay, so you want to sync your corporate server to your branch server or a client, so we need a NTP server to synchronize the time based on the time zone and time and date and time, of course, time zone. Now SNMP for remote monitoring, remote deployments, remote monitoring mainly you're using. Okay, so SNMP for remote monitoring related things, simple network management protocol, so monitoring related protocol. RDP, remote desktop protocol, so I want to view my remote desktop, uh, like I want to view my server's desktop in my PC, so then I can use RDP protocol. Okay, Kerberos, what is Kerberos? Authentication protocol. Kerberos is a authentication protocol mostly used in a Windows authentication system, Windows Server authentication. So we use Kerberos, client and server authentication time. So we use a authentication. LDAP is a universal open protocol. It is Kerberos is a proprietary of Microsoft, but LDAP is um, open protocol. So we use LDAP in Windows, Linux, and other application related also. So these are some of protocols we mostly used in a network communication. So guys, try to remember, at least be confident on these protocols. There is a total 65,500 something around port numbers are there, but after that one registered port numbers are 1023 port numbers are there. Out of 2023 I reduce it to something around 10-15 port numbers. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, how to remember, that is important. This is for a web related HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. Keep it these three things as a one single unit. SSH and Telnet for a remote connection purpose. SMTP, POP3, IMAP, mail communication purpose. DHCP, DNS. Usually network, like we don't involve in much, but we are getting IP from DHCP and we are getting IP from DNS based on the name what we want it. Okay, domain name to IP address. Okay, these are all one single, not single purpose. It is so one kind of stuff. TFTP, of course, it is some separate one. TFTP, this one. Cabros and LDAP, both are for authentication purpose only. RDP, remote connection purpose. So you can put a RDP here in here also. Okay, here. Don't try like this 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 80, 110, 143, 653, 69. You know, people having a hobby of remember things in a 1 2 3 4 order. Don't try it. Go with the purposes. Go with the purposes. If you practice, you will remember that one. Okay. So this is about your port numbers. Where are we? So this is about your application layer. Application layer means application layer usually dealing with what is your protocol you are using, what protocol you are using, what protocols are you're using. Okay, and next one, and application is also responsible for application side of a client and server applications. Okay, so that is also will be there in a application side. Next one is a presentation layer. Okay, next one is a presentation layer. Okay, what is this presentation layer? So data is in a different format while you are sending or receiving the data. So the data is in a different format. Data can be HTML format. Normally we are using HTML files, right? So data can be a HTML format, or maybe a text format, maybe a PNG or a JPG format, picture format, or a GIF format. Okay, MP3 format, MP4 format, FLV format. Okay, Flash. Okay, um, so different formats are there, right? So what are the thing? It is different formats are there. So what are the format you are using? The format is converted into ASCII format. Okay, it will convert into ASCII code only. What is this ASCII code? It is a standard code, American standard code for information interchange. Yeah, right. So find out what is ASCII. What is ASCII? Just try yourself. Like what is this one? Okay. So usually, enter whatever the data you are there. So the data is converted into hex code format. Data is in different hex code format is there. For example, you take a capital A or a small a, or maybe a small b, or a small b, or a capital B. Okay, okay, whatever it is, or maybe a 1 2 3, or maybe you take a special symbols. Anything, there is a ASCII number will be there. So if you are go through C++, there you may see in the ASCII formats also. Okay, what is this ASCII thing? ASCII is actually in a hexadecimal number. Okay, for every thing there is a hexadecimal number will be there. There is ASCII code is there. So then like a 30 40 20 21 22, like different numbering system is there, 2 1 3 2 3, like that it is. For everything there is a ASCII code is there. For everything ASCII code is there. So we are seeing this data like this, but in a system is in a ASCII format only. System understand in a ASCII format only. So we understand in normal format, system understand ASCII format. Why ASCII? It is easy to uh, convert into the binary, and easy to calculate and process the thing. That's why it convert into ASCII format. Okay. So convert this data into ASCII format. Okay. This we call it as a encoding and decoding. So we encode the data and send it, and other side decode. So presentation will do encoding, and when you receive it, when you are sending, you are encode it and send, and we decode it and we receive and decode. We encode and send. We receive, decode. So that is will happen in a presentation layer, and in a presentation layer also happens with a compression of data and what happening decompression. How to decompress and compression and decompression is of the data. So data is a huge in the size, and we compress the data and send it. When you receive a data, we decompress it. Also it will do encryption and decrypt. Encryption and decryption we are doing this one. What is this encryption and decryptions? So whenever you're sending a data is in a normal format. So anybody can able to understand the data. So then to secure your data transmission, you have to encrypt the data and send it and receive the data and decrypt it, and we got it into normal format. So just for example, HTTP, HTTPS. Example of encryption decryption: HTTP, HTTPS. HTTP websites are a normal format. Data is can be known by anybody, so it is not a secure one. HTTPS secure, it use SSL for securing your data. SSH and telnet. Telnet is a plain format data, and SSH is a encrypted format data. So like that, so we can secure the data. Just we use here for encrypting SSH, SSL is one of the thing. PLC, TLC, as I remember TLC. Otherwise, check it once. Okay. I have a little bit doubt because I use TLC for so many days. TLS, sorry. TLS, correct. TLS, not TLC. TLS, RHA, RHA, SHA. These are a lot of hashing algorithms we are using. So different numbers are there, like SHA 128, SHA 64. Okay, like the different hashing algorithm we are using, RSA algorithms, SSA algorithm. So different algorithms we are using to encrypt our data. Okay, different algorithms we are using to encrypt the data. Different certifications we use to encrypt our data. Okay, encryption decryption also we have to tell in another format like HTTP, SSH. Okay, there are encrypted form of data communication, SCP, VSFTP. So many are there. So these are the encrypted and decryption algorithms and certificates, and these are the protocols in the here. Okay, so this is about your presentation layer, and next one is session layer. Okay, so session layer. What happened? So session layer as a very important role is there, but to elaborate it, it is we have a very limitation. Okay, session layer will create a session. It create a session and maintain a session and terminate the session. So we create a session, maintain session. Okay, terminate the session. What is this session layer? So when you send a request, when you are sending a request from your client to server, for example, you are sending a request, session will be created. It create a session and you send a request, and a request is reached to server, and server will create one session here for replying client. So it will give a reply to client, it send a reply to the client, then session is completed. Because what is your session? You send a request and server take a request, and based on your request it is giving reply, means transaction is completed. Once your transaction is completed, session will be closed automatically. This is first point. Understand, once transaction is completed, session is completed. Guys, do you remember when you done a payment? So like you are buying something, you done a payment. After payment, usually the screen will stop at last, right? Completed, payment is completed. So you don't go with a further one. Either you should go, it will close automatically and start with the application from starting. Like you go to Flipkart or Amazon, you done a payment. So finally it will show, do you want to go for a home continue shopping, like that only. But you won't go to the next, go back is not there, because transaction completed, it means session completed, that session is completed. Okay, like that only. Okay, so this is a one session. When you open a session request, you open till the complete transaction, it will maintain a session. Server to client session will be maintained. Okay, once transaction completed, once completely whatever the request you got it, so that it is automatically session will be over. Next, if in case internet is disconnected, network disturbance or an internet is disconnected, what happen? Automatically this section will be terminated. It will create a session when you are send a request or receive a request, it automatically create a session. Okay, when you automatically create a session, and it maintain a session till transaction is completed. And if in case any disconnection or a disturbance occurs, or longer disturbance or a disconnection is occurs in a your network data transmission or a data transmission time, any disturbance occurs, so automatically it will disconnect it. Okay, automatically the session will be terminated. So any disturbance occur, some network disturbance is occur, or maybe network is down, automatically session will be disconnected. Again we have to re-establish the session, or maybe create a new session. Either you should re-establish the session or create a new section. So why I told use FDM or IDM or torrents. Okay, I'm not telling torrents. FDM or IDM for download applications, or what are you download heavy things, mainly use FDM or IDM only. FDM I prefer normally, but IDM is okay. If you are no IDM, then you can use IDM also, no problem. Okay, use FDM or IDM for downloading data. Why? Because if you download something with a normal browser, if network is disturbed, you may not continuously download happens. Okay, for example, 10% is downloaded, 10% is downloaded, 90% has to be downloaded, or maybe 90% downloaded. Okay, so what I said, it is 90% is downloaded, 10% has to download. Now network disturbance occur. Now what happened? Again you have to download from starting only. So that is the problem with a normal download, because the session will be expire automatically, session will be terminated, and session is terminated. Okay, session is will be terminated automatically, so you cannot able to continue. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, next, by using a FDM or IDM, of course, torrent, avoid how torrent it is, when I started my career, I have to teach Vista, Windows Vista. That's my first operating system. What I taught in a classroom, that is a Windows Vista. It is utter flop operating system in market, but we taught Vista that time. Okay, so my organization not given any Vista DVDs, they not provide anything. Okay, so what I done, I told already, I download it in my office only. In my home, we don't have internet that time. Internet speed is 512 kb, kilobits per second, capital K, small b. Okay, so kbps connection. Download speed, max to download speed is 70 kbps. This is a maximum download speed, but everybody is using a different network, right? My counselor is using Facebook, my manager is using something in his book. Okay, you download from so many things from torrent. So I took almost 20 days or 30 days, almost more than 25 30 days almost to download Vista, because it's around 3.6 GB. When I download it is 3.6 GB. I took more than 20 days to download this one. Okay, luckily it is successfully downloaded and we burned into the DVD. Okay, so that time it is like that, it is. Now we can download in a today. If you tell something you need a 10 GB file, also I can download and I will give it to you. Okay, but that time is a different part. Okay, it's 2008 only, not so far. 2008 only. Okay, not 2008, 2009. I started in 2009. Okay, so that time. So this is how much changes occur in a site, right? That time 1 Mbps means highest speed. Here 50 Mbps is the lowest speed. Okay, so people are using. Okay, so it will save the session, and it will maintain the session. If you are reconnected means, if whenever the internet is disconnected, again internet is back, again FDM and IDM or normal torrent things, whatever, it will re-establish the session, and automatically it re-establish the session, and it will continue the download. So this is about your session layer. So what is a session? It will create a session, maintain a session, terminate session. One thing, and another one is multiple sessions. Also, it will maintain multiple sessions. It will maintain. So sometimes in one single section has multiple sessions also there. So session layer maintain multiple sessions also. Okay, that's it. That is about your top layer. Guys, I'm stopping here. Just before I go to the transport layer, next layer is uh, transport layer. Okay, so I need at least transport layer, network layer, data link layer is there. So but transport layer is a little bit bigger one. Again, it required 10-15 minutes is required. I'm stopping here because of this part itself took a lot of lengthy time. I started almost, it is around 1 hour. Okay, so just I'm going to points again. Different network models are there to communicate between the systems. Okay, next OSI layer is a reference model. Next one is OSI layer is a reference model. Open system interconnect. OSI means it's an open system interconnect. It is a reference model, 7 layer model. So usually very useful at a troubleshooting the network. Different organizations standardize this OSI layer, and there is a different standard numbers also available like 802.3. Okay, 802.3 is a Ethernet communication, and for Wi-Fi communication it is a 802.11. OSI layer having a 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. When you tell seventh one is application layer, sixth one is presentation layer, instead of that, better application layer, presentation layer, session layer, it will give you speed. And also you should remember numbering also. Top layer is a 7, bottom layer is 1. First 3 layers we call is a hardware software layers. Upper layers are a software layers. Upper layers are a software layers. This is a down layers are a hardware layers. Heart of the OS layer is transport layer. Application layer is a responsibility is to for understanding your protocols and their port numbers, understanding protocols, their port numbers, application side of client and server. Okay, so certain protocols already given: HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SSH, Telnet, SMTP, POP3, IMAP, DHCP, DNS. Okay, like that we are given. Next, presentation layer. What is the presentation layer? So whatever the data you are transmitting or receiving, the data is converted into ASCII format. When you send the data, we are convert into ASCII format and send it. And when you receive a data, convert ASCII format to normal format. So that process we call it as a encoding and decoding. We encode the data and send it, and decode the data. We receive a data and decode it. We compress the data and send it, and we receive a data and decompress the data. And encryption and decryption is also will done in a presentation layer side only. So what is a encryption? If you look at this data is in a plain text format. This data we can able to understand, we can read the data, but encrypt the data means we cannot read it, we don't understand until unless if you decrypt the data only. So There is a different hashing algorithms and certifications used to encrypt your data. Okay, and also different protocols are like this to send or receive. While you're sending and receiving, if you use this kind of protocols for encrypt data and send it, like already I told HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP is a normal format. HTTPS is an encrypted format. You know, if you see, these are all websites are a HTTPS format only. If you look at closely, see, HTTPS format only. Of course, HTTP sites also available. Okay, HTTP sites also available. Currently, all are HTTPS only. Most of them are HTTPS only. So I have to show you HTTP site. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, HTTP sites, HTTPS sites. Okay, so this is will provide a secure mail communication banking website. For example, you open a bank website. Okay, HTTP colon slash slash ICICI bank dot com or dot co dot in or dot in. All are duplicate websites only, because all banking websites comes with a HTTPS only. If you see HTTP and ICICIbank.com, AxisBank.com, AndraBank.com, UnionBank.com, CorporateBank.com, obviously these are all duplicate websites only, because compulsory encryption is required. Data encryption compulsory is required. It's a bank transaction, right? That is. Next one is a session layer. It will create a session, maintain a session, and terminate the session. So when you are sending a request or when you're sending a data to the remote PC, it create a session and maintain the session till the transaction completed. Once transaction completed, it terminate automatically. If any disturbance occur, network disturbance, okay, internet disturbance, like that, any disturbance occurs or a disconnection is occur, it terminates automatically. Okay, so transaction will stop at middle. I will give you one example, because I'm not going for transport layer now. So I'll give you example of session layer. It's a beautiful experience, first experience. Yeah, I will tell. Uh, um, just for understanding, I'm telling this example, guys. Okay, not telling a story here. I am telling a experience. When I want to come from Hyderabad to Pune, that time, first time, almost like a first time, not a first time, it is a third time I'm coming. So what happened? At 10 o'clock, Tatkal quota will open. Okay, at 10 o'clock, quota will be open. So how to start on Sunday? How to start on Sunday? Then I'll reach Monday morning, and I can start the class in Monday morning itself. I don't waste time for taking extra leave or one day before also. I'm a very lazy person and a very important person also. So I don't waste time things like I started on a Sunday evening. I have to reach Monday morning, and then I have to take the class on Monday morning directly. So from office only, directly I go to office always. Okay. Now I'm coming to home, but usually I will go office only. Okay, 10 o'clock, AC Tatkal will open. AC Tatkal will be open at 10 o'clock. So I open IRCTC application in my mobile phone. Okay, IRCTC app I open. We have a Wi-Fi internet connection. We have broadband, ACT broadband is there that time. Okay, so we have a broadband connection, and I open application. I'm giving all the details. At final part, is transaction, money transaction is there now, payment. Okay, so I'm at payment side. Okay, I'm at payment. Suddenly power cut, power gone. Power gone means Wi-Fi cut, internet is disconnected. What will happen? Internet is disconnected, Wi-Fi is disconnected. What will happen to mobile phone? Automatically it will switch to 4G, right? Actually, this is a very good one, right? 1 hour the Wi-Fi is disconnected. Wi-Fi is disconnected. Automatically, mobile phone go to 4G in generally. Okay, so you need to change it manually. You just automatically. very less time, less than a 10 seconds, it automatically change it to 4G. It is changed. It is changed. So while I'm doing a payment, power cut, I'm in a Wi-Fi connection. Wi-Fi to 4G is changed. When I do payment, it is not working. Payment is not done. So why? Question is why? So both side internet is there now. Before a payment, I have a Wi-Fi. At the time of payment, while I'm typing the payment thing, so I have a 4G, of course. Both side, I have internet. I have internet. But when I do payment at the time of payment, I'm not getting payment thing. Okay, payment failure because of it's showing session is expired. Session is expired. So I use a network connection, so I will remove all these things. See, guys. So this is my system or a mobile phone. I am connecting through Wi-Fi to IRCTC server. So it establishes session like this from my mobile phone and through my Wi-Fi router through my this internet channel. So this is a way I can communicate to IRCTC application, IRCTC website. I connected like this session, and IRCTC store this section details in the website till the transaction completed. Till the transaction completed, I open a session here, and the session will be stored here. Session ID will be stored here. So entire thing done by this session only. Entire complete transaction done by this session only. Now what happened? Due to power cut, I am disconnected here, and I'm continuing with a different session. This is a my 4G network. That is different, right? That is Airtel 4G network. This is ACT. Okay, this is 4G network, different network, and this is a different network. So what happened? This section went here and tried to continue my session. What happened here? It does not understand. It think it is some duplicate section is created here. Okay, ID is not belongs to this session. I came with the same ID, but I created different session now. So what happened? IRCTC cancel the transaction. Cancel the transaction. Transaction not went away. Then what happened? Why I said it's a beautiful and as well as a Bakwa story. Why beautiful means I clearly understand session layer here. I clearly understand session layer here. See the first session disconnected. I connected it immediately. Immediately it is I connected to different network and I want to continue the session, and it is secure this session layer section ID. Okay, and it is not agree to go with another network. Next I have to log out. Then what I done a log out and log in again. So now clearly new section is created. New fresh section is created. Login, log out, log in again. I close everything and then log in again. Now new session is created. New session is created with a 4G network. Now I can able to open IRCT website and continue the thing. But why it is a worst thing means tickets are completed. So within this time period, we have tickets are completed. Only premium is available. That time ticket cost is around 1300. Now my ticket cost is around 1700. It means 13 to 14. This is 17 to 18. So because of premium Tatkal, I have to pay 18,000 to it. Okay, it's not even a 13. It is less than 13,000 only. So IRCTC, so it is premium Tatkal is available. I paid extra because compulsory I have to join. That is a joining date. So 18th April. 3 years back story it is. This is how you can understand session layer. Okay, transport layer, network layer, data link layer. I will continue after